Senior Connections, a show about senior issues and events. A guide to active, independent living. With your hosts, Margie Toms and Janet Halliday.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Senior Connections. I'm Margie Wimberly Toms.
And I'm Janet Halliday. As you can see on the screen, that the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys has a long list of the field of practice for elder law. And so today we're going to be talking about estate or long-term care planning, powers of attorneys, wills, trusts, and if we have time, we'll be getting into Medicaid and that eligibility. And our guest today is T.C. Reynolds from Stratton and Reynolds, and they're located in Lexington, South Carolina. Welcome to the show.
Yes,
glad to be here.
T.C.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here. In terms of what your firm actually focuses in on, can you kind of just explain to us and our viewers a little bit? Okay.
Sure. We do a lot of estate planning. We do probate work, which is the administration and litigation if we have to. We set up trusts. We help with special needs planning, and we help with some long-term care planning and planning for disability, those sort of things.
And it all involves elder.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am. Elder law is the kind of umbrella.
Okay, everything comes
area.
under that.
Well, kind of elaborate more on like the estate and long-term care planning. What does that involve?
Yeah, well, it involves a couple of things. One is obviously having an estate plan, setting up those basic documents like your will and your power of attorney and your health care power of attorney. And the other is maybe looking into ways that you can, if you need to go into some sort of long-term care facility, kind of planning for that disability.
Now, do you work with financial planners? Then do you?
We do.
You know?
Yeah, those are some of our strongest relationships with financial planners around the area.
Okay.
So primarily, do you deal with family members? The children of the elderly, as opposed to the elderly? Or is it both?
It's a little of both.
Yeah.
And I know it says it's elder law is the kind of area, but really we deal with a lot of people even in their 40s and 50s who are going ahead and planning ahead of time because
which is a great idea.
Absolutely.
Okay, that
Absolutely.
explains that. That's good to know.
I know that this is an area that I have some familiarity with, but why is planning for incapacity so important?
Well, it's like this. You can either plan for it yourself and have it kind of go the way you want it to, or you can let other people do the planning for you later, and that's maybe not what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah, you may not even be able to do it later on yourself.
Well, and a court might have to do it for you.
Right. And I think that's one of the things I tell people. I said, even if you only have two choices, you have a choice. But if you don't plan and you leave it to someone else, you have no choice. You have to do what they want you to do. So kind of explain the difference between the healthcare powers of attorney versus a general versus a durable.
Absolutely. So like you said, there's a couple types of powers of attorney. Kind of the durable power of attorney, that's the one most people think of when you're talking about planning someone to kind of manage your finances for you. It's called durable because it lasts through incapacity. So a durable power of attorney is going to last even if you become incapacitated, which is what most people want. That's what you want the power of attorney for. A healthcare power of attorney, that's different in South Carolina. It's a statutory form. The legislature put it together. It's the one everybody's used since January 2007. And it's the one that lets you make those end-of-life decisions and kind of determines who gets to make healthcare decisions for you.
Well, does that vary from state to state?
Yeah, it does a little bit. Like I said, we have our own form here in South Carolina, but other states might have their own forms too.
Gotcha.
Now, I want you to elaborate a little bit on if somebody doesn't have a healthcare power of attorney and they become incapacitated either through a physical ailment or a mental ailment, what recourses do the families have? Yeah,
well, and it's really good to have a power of attorney because if you don't and you become incapacitated, even if it's your spouse, a lot of times you'll have to petition the court for what's called a guardianship. That's for the kind of their placement and things like that, and the conservatorship for their finances.
And we are going to take our first break. But before we go, I want to make sure everybody goes to our website at seniorconnectionssc.com and checks out that archive of shows and looks at those events, because those events are for you and you need to go to them. So we'll be right back after this break.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler, and I'm here to tell homeowners that are 62 and older about a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage.
A reverse mortgage can give you tax-free cash, no monthly mortgage payments, and you still own your home.
Call Larry Reed now, your local expert, to find out if you qualify.
Ask for your free reverse mortgage guide and DVD. And when you call now, you'll also get this light and magnifier absolutely free.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help. Each patient has a team dedicated to providing emotional, medical, and spiritual support.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we will ensure the time that you have together will allow you to be just her son and you to be just her daughter, because you shouldn't have to be anything else. At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help.
Are you or someone you love having difficulty getting into the tub for a bath or unable to stand in the shower? Call Comar Products today for help with safe, comfortable, independent bathing solutions. We specialize in products like walk-in tubs and roll-in showers. Our walk-in tubs feature hydrotherapy technology, so your bath is always warm and may even increase blood flow circulation and reduce swelling. Call Comar today to schedule your showroom appointment or visit us at 1759 Airport Boulevard in Casey.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. We are talking to our attorney, T.C. Reynolds, and speaking about elder law. Now, T.C., what I need to know is, in terms of, do you have to have an agent? And the agent, does it have to be a family member as it relates to, you know, someone who's really incapacitated, any number of things?
Right, right. So for a power of attorney, you know, I always think it's preferable to have a family member if there's someone you trust. But if there's not, you can always have a good friend or someone else that you know to handle the health care. They can also handle your finances, or you could get someone like a corporation, a bank or someone like that to manage your finances for you.
Sense.
Now, if you don't have the power of attorney, the durable power of attorney on health care, and we were talking before we went to the first break about what the recourse is. Explain the difference between the guardianship, conservatorship versus having the powers of attorney.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the guardianship and conservatorship, it's a court proceeding. I tell people, especially if you get an attorney involved, even uncontested, these can run $3,000 to $5,000. Contested, they can easily go over $10,000, and I've seen several do that. On the other hand, you know, a power of attorney is really pretty cheap and pretty easy to do, and with a conservatorship and guardianship, there's not even a guarantee that you'll get the person you would have picked. It's whoever ends up winning that court battle.
Right. And that's why I always encourage families to get these papers in order, because the cost is significant when you have to go to court to get that guardianship or that conservatorship. But now, we were talking about spouses. Just because you're married to someone doesn't give you the legal authority to tell about health care. If that person becomes incapacitated, you have no authority over your husband or wife without that health care power of attorney.
For health care you might, but for their property, anything that's not actually in your joint names, you're not going to have any control over that. Any financial institution, or if you have to sell real estate, you know, the closing attorney, they're going to want to see you have a power of attorney or a conservatorship in place to deal with those assets.
Because I get that kind of response, well, I've been married to her 35 years or 55 years, and you know, I ought to have that authority. And I'm like, well, you know, that's just the law, the way it is.
That's interesting. Okay. I didn't know that.
That's why we're doing Senior Connections.
Now, is it possible to, you know, revoke your power of attorney?
Absolutely,
Once
yeah. Usually with your financial, the durable power of attorney for property, you'll have that recorded at the Register of Deeds office, so you have to file something to revoke that. But for the other documents, you can really just tear them up to revoke them, and then that's all you
That's the end of it.
Okay, well, I want to move really to wills now. So should everyone have a will?
Yes, absolutely.
We heard that.
Yeah.
So what if you have multiple executors on your will? Is that a good idea?
I don't like to have multiple personal representatives, and the reason is because then you usually have to have them sign off on everything. It's particularly hard when you have, say, children in multiple states, and you have to get them all to sign off on everything, and get someone to witness it, and send them all back. It really delays the process and makes it a lot harder.
Question. If one's husband dies, and it's their second husband, okay, and you have made a will, and the husband has been in the will, was in the will, okay, prior to him dying, and he had a previous family with children, would that affect, okay, anything in the will that you may have made out because he was in it?
No, as long as you make the will after you married him, it's not going to be affected, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
He just charged you $200 for that answer. I was having difficulty following that, but I knew it was from Margie. Well, what happens if you die and you don't have a will?
Well, yeah, then your property passes according to our intestacy statute.
We heard about that.
And that's not how most people want their property to pass. Because if you're married with kids, half's going to go to your spouse, and the other half's going to go to your kids, even if they're minors.
Okay, and we're going to have to get that answer when we return. But be sure and go to seniorconnectionssc.com and check out our archive of shows and also those events. You all won't want to miss them, and we'll be right back.
Wood-Ash is having a mattress sale. Why pay thousands of dollars for a Visco memory foam mattress when you can get a complete two-piece queen set at Wood-Ash for $3.99? This quality mattress layered with Visco memory foam features a cool, comfortable quilted top for a comfortable, cool sleep every night. Highly resilient, highly durable, and best of all, at a discount price starting at just $3.99 for the two-piece queen set. For the lowest discount prices featuring Visco memory foam mattresses starting at $3.99, shop Wood-Ash today. Wood-Ash, located in the heart of the Vista, 919 Gervais.
If you're looking for a fun new friend, what a day. Shelters are the best places to find one.
You don't say!
There you'll discover healthy, happy, loving animals.
Nothing but the best.
Waiting to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt.
We'll always be the best of friends.
To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help. Each patient has a team dedicated to providing emotional, medical, and spiritual support.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we will ensure the time that you have together will allow you to be just her son and you to be just her daughter, because you shouldn't have to be anything else. At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help.
As large corporations continue to take over local businesses, Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home is still family-owned and independent. They believe that bigger doesn't mean better, and people always come before profits. That trust is earned, not bought. The Carnegie and Mosley family has been serving families since 1884. Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home. They are your neighbors, and you'll appreciate the difference.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler, and I'm here to tell homeowners that are 62 and older about a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage.
A reverse mortgage can give you tax-free cash, no monthly mortgage payments, and you still own your home.
Call Larry Reed now, your local expert, to find out if you qualify.
Ask for your free reverse mortgage guide and DVD. And when you call now, you'll also get this lighted magnifier absolutely free.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. We are talking with our attorney, T.C. Reynolds, and what I wanted to subject is elder law. What I wanted to ask you, continue elaborating on the question that I had asked you before, T.C., if you don't mind, okay?
Yeah, right. And so I think the other side of what we were talking about is if you have a second marriage and your spouse had children from a previous marriage, they don't have a will, that's where a lot of the problems come in. Because then what happens is half of their property would go to you if they don't have a will, half would go to their kids. Now you can imagine if they have, say, their names on your real estate, that can cause a lot of issues.
Right.
Good to know, huh?
Oh, absolutely, because there are a lot of second marriages out there.
Yes, definitely.
How often should you review your will?
We say every 5 years or after a major life event, whichever comes first.
Now, what do you define as a major life event?
Yeah, the death of maybe someone you've named in your documents, a new birth in the family, if you end up going through a divorce, some of those really big occasions like that are good times to review your estate plan.
Now, does a will have to be filed in the county where it was written? I'm confused about that.
Only whenever you go through the probate process. So,
okay.
There's no need to file it beforehand.
So basically, you could write a will on just a handwritten piece of paper. Does that really happen, or is that only in the movies?
We've heard about that.
That's really only in the movies. In South Carolina, you have to have 2 witnesses and a notary on your will now. So,
but you could write it and have somebody notarize it and witness it potentially.
Could.
Okay.
You could.
Right. Okay, you could. Well, okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
So if you have an addendum in your will and you want to remove it, then at the time that you review it every 5 years, that's when you could do it then. Is that correct?
Yeah. If you've made some changes to your will and you want to kind of undo them or change them around, that's the time to do it. Absolutely.
Now, how is a will different than like a trust?
Yeah, well, they're very different types of documents, and they're kind of for different purposes. Usually when you have a trust, I still suggest having a will. What a will does is it kind of manages all of your probate property. That's the property that would go through that probate process, things that aren't in a trust, that aren't joint accounts, don't have beneficiaries named on them. That's sort of what your will controls. Now, property in your trust, though, can completely avoid probate and avoid that probate process after your death, which can be expensive and can be kind of time-consuming.
Okay.
I guess the same would go if someone wants to contest the will. That probably can add up to some money you put out too,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that can eat up a lot of the estate if heirs want to contest the will. But
I guess I haven't had the luxury of knowing many people who have tried to contest a will, so I'm not as familiar with that. But I did want to say, is there like an estate size that it's better to set up a trust? I mean, I would think if you don't own a lot of property or have a lot of money, it wouldn't be worth setting up a trust.
Yeah, probably not. There's some circumstances we might still want to set up a trust, and I won't say it's based on asset size. It's more based on kind of your family's situation and kind of what you're hoping to achieve with the trust. Say you have some minor children, you don't want them getting the money, before they're a certain age, or again, you want to avoid that probate process. Those are some of the reasons you might create a trust.
So could you potentially like set up a trust where maybe you would set up your money to go to your grandchildren rather than your children?
Yes, yeah, you can.
Okay. Remember that, children.
I know what I wanted to ask you. If you don't leave someone or mention someone in your will, but you leave them $1. What is it? Is that something that's just passed around street talk, or what? There's something about $1, then you don't have to.
You can specifically disinherit just about anyone but your spouse. Your spouse is going to still get a share of your estate, just about no matter what.
Disinherited?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, but if you have children you want to disinherit, you don't have to give them $1. You can just disinherit them if that's what you want to do.
Just disinherit them.
So you don't have to worry about that.
Well, I am learning a lot today. And we're going to take another break. But again, be sure and check out our website at seniorconnections.sc.com and check out those events because they're for you. And we'll be back with the lawyer in the hot seat after these words from our sponsor.
Are you or someone you love having difficulty getting into the tub for a bath? Unable to stand in the shower? Call Comar Products, where we specialize in products like walk-in tubs and roll-in showers. Call for an appointment or visit us at 1759 Airport Boulevard in Casey.
Woodash is having a mattress sale. Why pay thousands of dollars for a Visco memory foam mattress when you can get a complete two-piece queen set at Woodash for $3.99? This quality mattress layered with Visco memory foam features a cool, comfortable quilted top for a comfortable, cool sleep every night. Highly resilient, highly durable, and best of all, at a discount price starting at just $3.99 for the two-piece queen set. For the lowest discount prices featuring Visco memory foam mattresses starting at $3.99, shop Woodash today. Woodash, located in the heart of the Vista, 919 Gervais.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help. Each patient has a team dedicated to providing emotional, medical, and spiritual support.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we will ensure the time that you have together will allow you to be just her son and you to be just her daughter, because you shouldn't have to be anything else. At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Are you or someone you love having difficulty getting into the tub for a bath? Unable to stand in the shower? Call Comar Products, where we specialize in products like walk-in tubs and roll-in showers. Call for an appointment or visit us at 1759 Airport Boulevard in Casey.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. We are continuing our conversation with T.C. Reynolds, our lawyer, talking about elder care. Now, T.C., in reference to trustees, is there a special procedure to pick a trustee, or how does that work?
Well, you know, I tell people it should be someone that you trust, that they can manage money, and that they kind of have that head for being able to handle accountings and handle, you know, whatever it is they're going to need to do. You also want to be careful that there's someone that can really work with beneficiaries. If there's been a lot of disputes between them and one of the beneficiaries, it might be best not to appoint them. And if you don't think you have a family member that can do it, you could always have a corporate trustee handle that for you.
That is somebody with a bank?
The bank or financial institution.
Now, tell us about irrevocable trusts.
Yeah, so there's two types of trust usually, roughly revocable and irrevocable. Irrevocable trusts are usually used for tax planning, or if there's some reason you want to get assets completely out of your name. Because assets in a revocable trust, they're really still yours, you still have control over them.
Well, so give me an example of when you would use the revocable.
Yeah, most people use revocable trust because it gives you the ability to kind of change the trust terms or to kind of take things in and out of it throughout your lifetime. And most people like that flexibility that gives them. And then they usually don't become irrevocable until after that person dies.
Okay. So then when would a irrevocable trust be beneficial?
Usually that's used for things like tax planning, or if they...
You had said that, but...
They want to get maybe qualify for certain benefits, maybe government benefits, and they need to get assets out of their name. That's when an irrevocable trust might be appropriate.
We're not going to go into this today, but would that be something that maybe you would use for Medicaid eligibility?
Maybe, but we'll probably want to talk more about that later.
Okay, all right. We don't want to confuse them today.
Absolutely not.
And hopefully you'll come back at a later date and we can talk about that. So now you offer free consultations, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you also will, you said, go where they are?
Yeah, we'll travel. If they're not able to come to us for some reason, then we can travel to meet with them.
Okay. And Margie asked you earlier, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 2 years.
About 2 years. Okay. What made you want to be an elder law attorney?
It's just an area I really enjoyed. My first summer after my first year of law school, I worked at an estate planning firm up in Annapolis and really enjoyed it, and just ended up doing it here.
You like us older people, huh? But really, people do need to plan and get these documents in order, and doing it ahead of time is a lot more cost effective than having to do it after the fact.
Yep, absolutely. It's a lot cheaper, and it'll save a lot of bad blood between some of your heirs if you get all this kind of set forth ahead of time.
Do you get most of your referrals from, how do you get referrals?
Yeah, well, we get it from people we've worked with, financial planners, insurance agents, CPAs, people like that.
But people can come in off the street because they heard about you somewhere and set an appointment up.
Right, yep.
Gotcha.
But there are not that many folks in the attorney community that really deal with these issues, are there?
No, there aren't, and that's important, is that you want to make sure you work with someone that kind of focuses on these issues and understands these issues rather than just going to a general practitioner and hoping they'll know what to do.
That's right. Thanks for being with us today, and if you need services, please give them a call. They're located in Lexington, but as TC said, he'd be happy to come out and meet you in your home and review some of your concerns. I wanted to let you know that the Senior Expo at Tri-City Leisure is March the 18th from 9 to 12. And also there is the South Carolina Assistive Technology Expo, which is Wednesday, March the 27th at Brooklyn Baptist Church. Again, go to our website at seniorconnectionssc.com and look for those events and that archive of shows, and you can see TC again. And pick up your copy of Senior Living Guide. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, and Lord be with you.